Biochar is sold today like a silver bullet. Sprinkle it into your soil, they say, and yields explode, microbes multiply, and problems disappear. But if you've actually tried it, you may have noticed something uncomfortable. Nothing happened. Or worse, your plant stalled. That moment of confusion is the crack where the truth lives, because the real problem isn't ancient biochar. The problem is how modern gardening stripped it of context, rushed it to market, and turned it into an empty promise. This isn't an attack on history. It's a rescue of it. Fresh biochar, straight from a bag, is not fertilizer. It contains almost no nutrients. What it does have is massive internal surface area, and that is exactly why it often fails when misused. When raw biochar is added to soil, it acts like a sponge with nothing inside. It absorbs nutrients, moisture, and microbial life from the surrounding soil, temporarily locking them away from plant roots. Gardeners interpret this as poor soil, weak plants, or bad timing. In reality, the biochar is doing exactly what it is designed to do, but without preparation, it works against you before it works for you. Ancient civilizations never applied raw char to soil. They charged it, they inoculated it, they fed it before letting it touch crops. In the Amazon, where the legendary dark soils still outperform modern farmland centuries later, biochar was mixed with food scraps, manure, ash, bones, and compost for long periods before being incorporated into fields. This process turned inert carbon into a living habitat for microbes. Without that step, biochar is incomplete. Selling bags is easier than teaching systems. Charging biochar takes time, patience, and biological understanding. That does not scale well in retail packaging. So the narrative was simplified. Biochar became a product instead of a process. This is why so many gardeners feel misled. The truth was never that biochar doesn't work. The truth is that biochar only works when treated like biology, not dirt. Charged biochar does three things exceptionally well. It stores nutrients in plant-available forms. It provides protected habitat for beneficial microbes. It improves soil structure by increasing air and water balance. None of these benefits happen quickly. Biochar is a long-game amendment. Expecting instant results is like planting an orchard and checking for fruit next week. If you already have biochar, the solution is simple, but non-negotiable. It must be soaked in nutrients before application. One effective method is compost charging. Mix 1 part biochar with 1 part finished compost and keep it moist for at least 2 weeks. Turn it occasionally. Microbes migrate in, nutrients bind to the carbon, and the biochar becomes biologically active. Another method is liquid charging. Add 1 gallon of biochar to 5 gallons of compost tea, worm casting tea, or diluted urine solution made by mixing 1 part fresh urine with 10 parts water. Let it soak for at least 7 days. Stir daily if possible. Only after this step does biochar belong in your soil. Healthy soils already rich in organic matter often see little benefit from biochar. In these systems, compost, mulch and root diversity are already doing the heavy lifting. Adding biochar here may feel pointless because it is redundant. But, biochar shines in degraded, sandy or compacted soils where structure and microbial habitat are lacking. This context matters, but it is rarely discussed in promotional content. Biochar is permanent. Once it is in your soil, it stays for centuries. That is a strength and a risk. If you apply too much or apply it incorrectly, you cannot easily reverse the mistake. This is why ancient farmers introduced it slowly over years, blended into waste streams and organic matter. Dumping large amounts into a garden bed in one season is a modern error with long consequences. Biochar was never the star. Organic waste was. Human waste, animal manure, crop residues, ash and constant mulching formed the foundation. Char was a supporting structure, not the engine. Modern gardening flipped that hierarchy. We chase inputs instead of systems. Biochar became the hero when it was always meant to be the background. For most gardeners, compost, leaf mulch, root diversity and thyme outperform biochar in the first 5 years. These build soil faster, cheaper and with less risk. Biochar becomes useful later, once biological activity is already strong. This is why many experienced growers quietly stop using it. Not because it is fake, but because it is unnecessary in well-managed systems. Biochar fits perfectly into product-driven gardening culture. Ancient systems do not. They demand patience, observation and humility. That does not sell well. Calling biochar a scam grabs attention, but the deeper truth is more important. Biochar without biology is useless. Biochar without context is harmful. Biochar without patience is disappointing. Nature never relied on single inputs. It built abundance through layered systems that work together over time. When we extract one element and expect miracles, we misunderstand the blueprint. If you've tried biochar and felt let down, you weren't wrong. You were just sold the shortcut instead of the system. If this shifted how you think about soil, subscribe to nature's blueprint. Share this with a gardener who's been confused by biochar hype and help bring real soil wisdom back into modern gardening.